Maybe we'll be normal one day. The trauma, it haunts me. Your anger, it echoes against these walls. In high school, you could hear, "AIDS girl," being yelled through the hallways. Walking into math class, as if that wasn't already hard enough. But by the time I made it to my desk, set my ass down, and loaded my backpack, I had just enough time to see "No sluts allowed" written in bright red, circled with a slash through it. Right up on that chalkboard, and all laughs, coming from my friends I've known since like 6th grade. Yeah, those I called my homies, those fake friends I was unable to see as my foes, even after they purposefully overdosed me with pills, made me the punchline of all their jokes, and all their thrills. Telling me, my tolerance must be elevated by now, convinced me to swallow 13 triple C's, even though it was my first time trying those Red Devils. You know the ones Lil Wayne raps about and he calls them Skittles. Keep in mind, my body frame was much smaller than his. He made Uncle Phil look little, yet he refused to take that many. But weight didn't matter. It was what I had to do if I wanted to feel anything. If I didn't want my friendships to shatter. Same friends filling me with poison filled the classroom full of laughter as I stood up in a panic, trying to make it to the bathroom. I turned to the door as I tripped, face first, into the floor. But room continued to chatter. Not one student, let alone a teacher, to make sure I was okay, even after. Alone to stumble, hands held up, teetering myself from wall to wall, using the stalls as I propped myself, realizing I was only alone, left alone to vomit alone, as if I never mattered. Still blind to the fact that those same people claiming my friendship, just to appeal to their lane, were the same ones practicing their aim as they slowly threw me to the wolves in hopes that they'd drag me to hell, attached to their fangs. But hey, I fit in, and finally climbing out from under my social shell. But yet, for some reason, they still to this day make my skin crawl. Misunderstood much like a turtle, except the misconception of the two of us was actually quite subtle. They assumed he was slow moving, when in reality, he was quick on his feet. To the boys in our crew, I was just one of the guys, but popular girls thought my bedpants basketball shorts were simply a disguise. "But you're a slut," she said, something I would never understand. I had never even sat on a bed with the opposite sex. Yeah, okay, I admit I held his hand. Puberty, well, it was also too afraid to call Sam a friend. Just admit it, we already know," he said, "you gave him head." Strict parents and awkward interactions consumed every opportunity I had ever had. I spoke up of my truth, honest and embarrassed. Accused of being a liar, the girls were determined to prove a man had made me orgasm. Great, I thought to myself, something else to look up, learning about intimacy through adults and high school elders, unaware of just how fucked up it truly was. I always felt my truth was forcefully capped. I was never validated, even when the lunchroom would physically make my head shake. So what if it's visible? But don't forget to clap. When this new girl walks in, I heard she has an STD. And if you don't, well, it's not cool and we won't be invited to the next party. "Blood doesn't just pour out," she said. "You just changed your pad. Quit it." "No way, you bled through already, girl." If I'm looking for drama, Sam, I can always count on you. But she was wrong. Next class, my crush informed me. It appeared I wore a thong of pure blood. By the time I checked, it was overflowing. Man, I will never forget that ache of always being lonely. Didn't have the money to replace it. Nah, I didn't have a quarter. And I was too ashamed to go ask another female for one, in fear that she would just laugh and hoard whatever she had. So I sucked it up and wrapped my jacket around my waist so that it appeared to be gone. coated my wrist with cold water, fantasizing that it was my blood running. As I forced a coerced smile on my face, so when I walked back in, it wouldn't feel so foreign. And to the classmates around me, I seemed perfectly normal. Soon I'd come to realize others were the nuisance. Yeah, it might be a new person, but it's always the same song, the same dance. Not everybody is the same, and that's okay. But what does it take for y'all to realize that this life isn't a game for narcissists to play? I hope that empathy-driven people will win, that those with genuine and kind minds will no longer suffer in the end. Yeah, that'll be the day. I'll let you know when. As I said before, when I mentioned the turtle, you know the difference between the two of us, how he was slow-moving in their heads, but in reality he was fast. The women, hell, it seemed like everyone seemed to think that Sam was fast-moving with the men. But in reality, I've always been the slowest one. I've just always been looking for a friend. And I'm not really sure why that was so hard for everyone to grasp. Besides, wasn't it everyone else who was always playing pretend?